at this. I mean, just the very thing for which he was convicted. He has now been convicted of chopping this woman up. Chop, 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 chop. Lots of plastic bags, taking her remains and tossing them in the river. And that, once again, is a misdemeanor. Misdemeanor. Chopped her up, threw her in the water. That's just a misdemeanor. No, he didn't murder her. Let's bring in our legal team. Heather Hansen is here. Deborah Blum, both criminal defense attorneys. It's just one thing after another with this guy.
Well, and that's why I think that he's really going to have to go with an insanity defense here, Shep. I mean, he's got too many things to explain away. And after that trial in Galveston, Texas, one of the jurors was interviewed, and she said he's not the only crazy person in Galveston, Texas. So clearly there was some information that led a juror to think, you know what, he might be crazy, but he did this one in self-defense.
Well, it was poorly done, Lisa. I mean, even the prosecutors admit that now.
Well, what happened there is the prosecution did not hone in on the dismembering, and they did not anticipate that he was going to argue self-defense. So his defense attorneys did an incredible job of saying there isn't enough evidence here that he did it in self-defense. But they didn't really focus on his mental defects. And also, we have to realize with insanity, that's really like somebody foaming at the mouth crazy. And I don't think anything that we have before us, watching the documentary, seeing him, the fact that he writes checks, gets on planes, drives to crime scenes, all of those things are proof of his mental competency.
He's staying in a room in New Orleans under an assumed name, paying for everything with cash. He's got a disguise up in there. Everybody says he's headed to Cuba.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of things to argue that he definitely planned this. At the same time, the fact that an appellate court, they've already gotten to this issue of insanity in New Orleans right now. An appellate court has said, yes, he has mental competency issues. Yes, he should be in a mental hospital rather than in jail. And that's just probably with regard to competency to stand trial. So the defense attorneys, though, remember, they want him the heck out of New Orleans.
Good.
They want, right, and they want him in California because the charges that he faces in New Orleans, the possession of the gun and the possession of pot, he actually could serve more time that he wouldn't even ever make it to the other trial.
More than he did for chopping the woman up and throwing her in the water after she was just about to spill the beans on him.
Well, he's acutely mentally ill. That's what they're saying. But that doesn't explain if he was mentally ill in Christmas 2007 when he murdered Susan Berman, or the other acts that he's now facing, like possibly facing, the girls that disappeared.
If I were in the middle of a trial, I would never mumble with a mic on. I killed them all, obviously. Well, and that would be really dumb.
And that's, he's crazy like a fox, you know, and so that would be out of character for him. I think what likely we'll see is the entire tape. You know how things are edited.
Oh, yeah.
So when you see that entire tape, all of the tape that they have, it's probably going to serve a whole lot better. Listen, his attorney has already said they're basing this arrest on a docudrama, and that is not enough. He's going to fight the arrest. He's going to fight the evidence. He's going to move him to California and hope for an OJ-type verdict.
But it is enough. I mean, look at the handwriting sample. They'll be able to get that in a trial, and it is a circumstantial evidence case, but I think that everything is unfolded now, and there's this missing piece of evidence that could show he's guilty of her murder.
Gotta go, Heather. Thanks. Deborah, I called you Lisa. That's so weird. I'm sorry. There is one of those, but you were decidedly not that one. Thank you.